What's up? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some more RPG horror stories. This heat has been getting really bad, and you know, the funny thing is, tieflings are supposed to be resistant to fire. Then why am I constantly getting migraines and headaches from the heat? Oh my god. I'm gonna start recording like in the dead of night, so that I don't have to deal with the heat anymore. Anyway, let's get to RPG horror stories for today. My first time DMing. My other DM levels up my character for me. So my first time ever DMing a DM for a bunch of random strangers my brother knew. Too many, like 8 people or something. That's a lot of people for a session. The most I could do is 6. 8? Oh, that sounds like a lot. Not a single person made their own character except for my brother and the one friend I invited. Made character sheets just in case and let people pick or make their own at the table, but everyone else just used the ones I made. I basically set up a short scenario where the party came to town, realized it was corrupt as hell, and had an option to overthrow the local ruler or help him capture the head of a local rebellion, or just keep walking to another town. One player said he felt this was railroading because one NPC told us the Duke was evil, and the other NPC said the rebels were evil. I said you can do whatever you want. I'm not making you pick either side. I was mostly confused because this didn't seem like a railroading to me. Anyway, at the end of the session, they leveled up and I said they could decide what to do for the next time between sessions. This player turns to me and says, "My other GM would just take care of all this for me." I stared at him. Okay. I did not level his character up. The fun of leveling up your own character is to see the next thing your character gets. What is the next thing at the next level? Do you get to pick a feat? Do you get to pick a choice between this ability or that ability? Do you get to pick a new spell? Maybe you get extra attack. Especially if you're playing something new, something you never played, it can be super exciting to like look forward to the new thing that you get when you achieve a specific level, unlock 3rd level spells and stuff. Oh, it's just so fun. Why would you want to take that away from you? It's like playing an RPG, like a regular RPG, not like a TTRPG, but like a regular video game, leveling up and then handing controller to somebody else, be like, here, you level up for me. I don't know what to do. We did not have a session too. Between games, my brother told the person's girlfriend that I did not like him, so she didn't want to return either. I asked my brother why he would tell her that, and he shrugged. Why would your brother do that? That's like a prick thing to do. Are we missing context? Is this one of the stories where we're just missing context for what's going on? I eventually ended up running a Pathfinder adventure for a smaller group of people I knew. I had fun hanging out with my buddies, eating snacks, and gathering every weird plant in the land. Don't give somebody else the pleasure of leveling up your character. Learn about your character. Enjoy the level up system because I think it's really fun. It's fun to watch the character that you made grow. Anyway, on to the next story. This time about warlocks. Warlock Bullies DM into breaking Warlock. Sorry for long post. My first time, and yet I have had a problem player that has been on my mind for about a year now. So my DM is a first time DM starting with a homebrew. Worse, we have like 8 to 10 players because the DM couldn't bring himself to say no. There are times to say no, and player limit is a great time to say no. 8 to 10. What is up with these games having like more than 8 players? I couldn't handle... Actually... No, I'm not gonna handle 8 players. If I go for 8 players, games will last forever. I'm not doing 8 players. Although, it does sound like a challenge. I'm a very challenge-oriented person. And I kind of want to do it now, but I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't, but I wanna. Anyway, let's get back to the story. During setup, he said, we'll do a roll for stats. Okay, I'm not a fan, but I do so. I get all 13s or lower, so I pick Cav Fighter. And out of pity, I'm given a basic horse to start with. Rest of the party goes fine, but the Warlock rolls 2 16s and 1 15 along some okay stats. So for reference, the Warlock has 18 Charisma, 16 plus Race, 16 Con, 16 Dex, 15 Base plus Race using Tasha's ASI. If you ask me, this is perfectly fine. A bit strong level 1, but remember, that's for later. So if you get up to level 3, no real issue. At level 2, Warlock takes Sorcerer. Okay, cool, I see where he is going. He wants to be a charisma caster to make up for the limited warlock slots. Fair, and common strategy. Or so we all think. After level 3, DM announces that he is using his own new spell rules because new players are having issues understanding spell rules and slot mechanics. The rules are as follow. All slots are universal with higher level spells costing more slots. Spell levels 1 to 3 will cost 1 slot. Each full caster gains 2 slots per level, and half caster, including monk key, gains 1 per level. Sounds interesting. I would also recommend, mostly because I kind of got used to it. I understand it's not gonna be everyone's favorite, everyone's cup of tea, but it feels super fun. It makes it feel like spell points are kind of like a mana pool, basically, and you have a total mana pool, and the higher level spell, the more mana it's gonna cost and stuff, and it's not for everyone's cup of tea, but I recommend. If you're bored of spell slots, spell points is really fun to use. Not that I'm like a PSA promoter for like spell points or anything, I just want to throw it in there. Let's continue. What I learned is that because the DM runs the campaign episodically, 1 combat, then long rest per session, the Warlock felt underpowered with only 2 Warlock spells. So he convinced the DM, since both Warlock and Sorcerer are both Charisma classes, I should be able to use those slots together to keep up with everyone else. So now a 20 AC, 18 Charisma Sorlock has de facto 6 to 8 slots, each with the mandatory upcasting of Warlock. Good lord, 20 AC Warlock with that many spell slots? I guess Warlock spell slots? That is insane. That is busted. If you didn't know, Warlock spells work at a highest level possible. If you're a Warlock that can cast Fireball at 5th level, all of your Fireballs are now at 5th level. I mean, I guess you could downcast, but like, there's no reason to downcast at that point because you can just spam 3 or 2 Fireballs at 5th level, and it's wild. You little like, I describe Warlock as like a sawed-off shotgun, right? You got 2 or 3 big blasts, and then you gotta reload through a short rest. But man, those blasts are gonna be heavy. This is so broken that he even able to survive low-level solo missions cause of his MC syndrome is so bad. He made the DM give him a few solo sessions on the side for custom loot. Ring of 25 passive perception, 2 close of passive mage armor, passive initiative advantage. Okay, yeah, I don't know what this DM is doing. This DM is clearly playing favorites if they're giving solo sessions to the Warlock. I hope the DM is being fair and giving fair loot to everybody else too, because that'd be the only way that'd be fair. But if they're just prioritizing Warlock, then is Warlock hurting the DM? Is Warlock actually abusing the DM? What does the title say again? What is the title? Warlock Bullies DM. Oh my god, please don't tell me the Warlock actually bullied the DM into giving all the items. That'd be the worst. Today, I basically had enough. The Warlock had been challenging everyone to PvP duels to flex. Over half the players had been building PvP builds. And I learned this is because we're having a fight to the death soon, to be the dividing point of the campaign between the good and evil characters. About 4 good, 6 evil. I talked to the DM and he's understanding, but the bullying I face is immense. Once the DM sides with me to move back to vanilla spell slots, he started getting hate too, but nowhere as much as I do. I understand wanting a power fantasy game, but these custom rules made it absolutely no fun for anyone not a full caster. The DM, while ignorant, I don't blame as he is being bullied into supporting this one player that we kind of can't get rid of. I feel like it's my time to leave and find another group. But this is not only my only D&D group, but a remaining friend group as well. And I feel like I'm breaking it just for not feeding the one player's ego. You shouldn't have to sacrifice your own enjoyment and your own fun for one player's stupid ego. Like, if it's clearly unfair, it's clearly unfair. Make him reset to the rules and stick to the rules, to the ground rules that's going to keep everything fair for people, so that you're not limited because you're not a caster. Because, I mean, what he already received, like 20 AC, all the spell slots that he has and stuff, extra clothing of magic armor. I'm assuming, wait, it shouldn't stack then? I don't know, it doesn't make sense. It's giving me a headache. But like, this stuff is not right. It's not okay. Everybody should be on a level playing field. Everybody should be getting the buffs and debuffs fairly. Otherwise, it's a shit show. Basically, simple as that. Few things I want to clarify. The DM is such a softie and afraid of losing friends, he's a massive pushover to bullying. And due to the Discord server we run this from, the DM actually doesn't have the power to kick or ban the problem player, and he's afraid to start his own server. If the DM is afraid to start their own server, maybe you should help him. You start the server, invite the DM, invite other players that want to join. Don't invite the problem player. Don't let him join. Because if the problem player is the biggest problem here and everybody else is fine, I understand sometimes it could be a little bit anxious because, like, you know, you DM in the game, you want your friends to be happy, you want your players to be happy, and you want to make sure you give them constant things to make him happy, right? You don't want to constantly take away things from players or make it a punchy experience. You want to reward them with magic items. You want to reward them with new spells, with new abilities, with new things, new cool things they can find. But like, Clearly it's unbalanced, because the guy is sitting there 20 AC with all these spell slots and just literally the most unkillable warlock possible, and has little gear for PvP and has all the solo session stuff. If the warlock gets a solo session, everybody else should also get solo session or some way to make up for missing stuff as well. Also, I hope the DM eventually ends up, learning to say no, because learning to say no, I think, is the very first thing you need to do if you find a problem. Don't like a specific subclass? No. Don't want to give a player starting magical item? No. Don't want players to do some weird kinky stuff? No, no, no. The power of no is very important, and it's good to practice the power of no. Especially as a DM, especially. You're the one that establishes the world, the rules, how things work, how things flow. And you gotta learn to say no to players for the little things and the big things where it feels appropriate. Players are having fun? Great. A player asks for overpowered items? No. Why? Because it'll make everybody else request magical items in order to balance things out, and otherwise it would throw things out of balance. Let the player multiclass into Sorcerer and Warlock? Fine. Let the player get all the spell slots they want? No. Because that'll be overpowered. The power of no is very important, people. And DMs, especially new ones, and the ones that aren't comfortable with, confrontation, they need to practice the power of no. Saying no simply is very important. It's a very important thing to do. And as much as you may not be used to it, it's important to say no sometimes. And with that, that's going to be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales tomorrow. Bye-bye.